Hi, this is Bill, and this is going to be a box opening and initial thoughts on the Integy C24354 touring car, which is a belt-driven car available from Integy. And I guess I got it for about $180 or $190 shipped off Integy website. And this is what you get. I've already went ahead and opened the box and taken a look inside, and as far as you get some extra clips and body holders, and that's about it. When you open up the car out of the box, this is what you get. Notice that inside the box there is no user's manual. It's a little bit of a disappointment. I have actually sent an email into Integy, and I have not heard back from them yet. It hasn't been a full week yet. I'm hoping they'll get back with me and give me more information about this car. But this is all you get out of the box. There are no decal masks windshield masks, so you will have to make your own masks if you want to block out the windshield. And then the ride height, actually, go ahead, put this in. The body is all the way down, pressing on top of the shock tower in the front, and if you see, there's a relatively a high gap there, but you can adjust the ride height a little bit and lower the car down to make it more adjustable for the body. So out of the box, the car is definitely not set up for running, and then I've also checked to see that thread lock has not been applied on any of the bolts. I took a handful of screws out, and there's no thread lock in. You do get a little spoiler for the body, which is nice. Lots of carbon fiber chassis, upper deck, shock towers, lots of aluminum. There's aluminum bulkheads throughout. I think the only plastic parts in the car are going to be your steering knuckles, the suspension arms, and of course your ball cups. Battery trays, plastic. And then more importantly, which is a little bit of a disappointment for me, was that the servo mounts are actually plastic. I was expecting those to be aluminum, but they're not. And then another disappointment is that on this particular design, you are restricted to the size servo you can fit in here. I'll have to measure this off later, but as you'll see on the bottom of the chassis, there is no adjustment here for the two screws that hold the servo mounts in place. So that may require some modification depending on the type of servo you're using. I'll go ahead and measure this, and then I'll post this. There'll be a link in the description of this video that'll include tons more information as it becomes available on this car. So that way, if you want to see the most current information, one of the things that is believed is that this might have some parts compatible with the Tamiya TRF 416, I believe. I'm not really sure if that's the model number, but like I said, I'll keep information up to date on the link to the description of this video. So I've got some parts ordered for it, and I'm going to see if it's compatible. As of right now, there are no spare parts listed on the Integy website for this car. So I would say buyer beware. In fact, I haven't even driven this yet. I want to wait till I can find replacement parts for this before I actually start taking it for a test drive. But overall, it seems pretty impressive to me. Full ball bearings. There's actually even ball bearings inside the steering linkage, which most cars that I've had, they usually just put bushings in the steering linkage. So that was kind of nice. The design of the car is really hard to complain. It's pretty good setup for the price, and I mean, it seems to be high quality parts all the way around where all the aluminum parts are now. There's not much to be said about the plastic without testing, but for the most part it seems pretty decent to me. One of the things that you want to watch out for is that the tires are not pre-glued, so you're going to need to glue these tires on. The quality of the tires are actually pretty decent. It feels like it's a relatively soft rubber to get pretty high traction. Even the foams themselves are pretty nice as well. And these seem to be about the quality foam that maybe comes with the sweep tires or wheels. And then the only drawback is this particular tire is not a belted tire, so it may not last really long. To give you an idea of what a belted tire might look like, I've got some Team Sorex tires here, and then these tires here, I'll try to see if I can show you what the belt looks like on the inside, but you can kind of see there's a belting material that's inlaid inside, and that reinforces the tire, making it a little sturdier. Now that's not to say that you can't maybe line this with some duct tape to help reinforce it and give it a little more rigidity. You know, it technically wouldn't be belted, but that might give the effect of having a belt to add some more durability to these tires. Just an idea. Other things that I'm impressed with this design is that it's kind of hard to see. I'll see if I can get up here in the camera, but there is like an L-shaped bracket here on the top deck. So you can remove these 4 screws here, sliding that L shape out, and make it really easy to get to the center spur gear. If you want to remove that spur gear out for spur changes, I know many other cars you have to remove the entire top deck, which is a lot more screws and a lot more cumbersome to be able to swap out that spur gear. So this seems like a real quick, easy design to me. It's pretty impressive, if you ask me. It does have a ball diff in the rear. The ball diff is rather tight for me. I mean, it just doesn't feel right. So there's definitely going to need some adjustment required there. I'm going to have to loosen that diff up. The front is actually a locked spool, which is nice. So this is, I know there's other cars they call World's Edition and whatnot that have that set up already, and I really like that setup with this car right off the bat, suggesting that it could be very competitive. Like I said, provided I can find parts for it, I'm looking forward to putting this maybe into a spec class and seeing how it does. It does come with sway bars front and rear. It's got aluminum shocks, and yeah, that's an aluminum body there. But it's has a plastic top, and which is kind of funny is the way they've installed these shocks. It's almost as if they copied an off-road car rather than a traditional on-road style shock mount, where they've got the screw going through a spacer and then another screw on the other side, and even on the bottom of the shock as well, they have a screw going in. Where most on-road cars that I've seen usually just have they pop on and off on the shock, making for easy servicing. Trying to think what else. The layout seems pretty traditional for most cars. The only question that remains to me is where am I going to get parts for it, and if and or when I find parts, look for an updated video and a follow-up review down the road, seeing how I like the car and how it does on the track. I'll try to get some footage of me driving the car on a racetrack and seeing how it handles and compares to other cars. I know I've got a TC6 that I'll be comparing it with, as well as an Exceed Drift King, and I can almost guarantee this is probably going to go faster than the Exceed Drift King, but my main concern is, will this hold up to the TC6? Will it go as fast? Will it go faster? I don't know. Time will tell. Thanks for watching, and be sure to click on the link to the description of this video for more update and current information. Thanks for watching.